built on relationships, focused on people, and rooted in the community. Welcome to the Build Blue podcast. Tune in for weekly episodes featuring guests who are building a better tomorrow. You'll hear inspiring stories from industry leaders, business owners, community partners, and our team members. The Build Blue podcast, where construction comes to life. An Apex Construction Group production. Welcome to the Build Blue podcast, an Apex production. And my name is Jess Blaze with Apex Construction Group. And I am here with Carrie Kijenski with Loyola Catholic Schools. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, Jess.
Absolutely. Let's start by having you tell us about yourself and a little about your background, Carrie.
Sure. Well, I actually grew up in Mankato. I went to school here. Then I moved away. My late husband and I lived up in Forest Lake, and that's where I had both my children, Logan and Chase. We decided to move back to Mankato, and I've worked at various companies throughout my career. I started with Taylor Corporation, was there for 20 years. And then it led me into the nonprofit sector, so I worked at Visit Mankato for about 4 years. And then during the pandemic, took some time off and got my real estate license, and now I'm at Loyola.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you. And I don't know if Andy Wilkie coined this phrase or if this is a phrase and I had just never been familiar with it before, but it's come up several times on the podcast. The boomerang, which is when you grow up here, you leave and then you come back.
Yes,
I'm
certainly one of those.
Have you heard of that? So we've had a few boomerangers on the podcast, including Andy Wilkie from Greater Mankato Growth, Macy Anderson from Blythe Barons, and now you. So
Great.
Welcome to the Boomerang Club.
Yeah, I love Mankato.
I do too. We start every episode of the podcast with we call it an Apex Icebreaker.
Okay.
And so we're gonna have you get deep a little bit, and we want to know if you could open and run any business, what would it be?
Well, that's funny. I'm actually I'm kind of an entrepreneur. Myself. Had some passion projects. I've been involved in like multi-level marketing, health sector, but my roots kind of go back to fashion.
Okay.
So
I love that.
Went to Wisconsin, got my degree in retail merchandising and management at Stout, but halfway through I came to MSU, and so I have a business and marketing degree as well. And I've just always been fascinated. I worked at Neiman Marcus in the cities before moving to Mankato, which was very fun.
Yeah.
I love all the boutiques and businesses that are popping up in Mankato. But I think there's also a sector missing for us working women. So I guess my ideal dream would be to be open something that women can feel flattered in the outfits that they're purchasing, just a really fun atmosphere where they can come, serve drinks if they want, bring their girlfriends. I know we have a few places, but I just feel like there's more need for that market. And then I would like to have just kind of like a really cute boutique.
I love it.
To it, so.
Oh, this is so fun. Yes. Yeah. Well, we will be watching because now you put it out into the universe on the podcast. So tell us about your role at Loyola.
So I'm in the advanced department at Loyola. My job is special events coordinator. So I handle fundraising and planning and basically from conception all the way through the end of the events for Loyola. And we have a few major ones. So busy throughout the year, lots of stuff going on, as you know. But I really enjoy it up at Loyola. My son is there as well.
And what grade is he going into?
He'll be a sophomore.
Oh, my goodness. So if folks aren't familiar with Loyola Catholic Schools, why don't you tell us a little bit about the school? You guys have preschool through 12th grade up on the beautiful campus up in Good Counsel. Give us a little bit of background about Loyola.
Yeah, so Loyola, as you said, is up on Good Counsel Hill. We do have preschool all the way through 12th grade. It's such a beautiful campus, and we're very proud of Loyola and its growth that we're having now. We've done a lot of updates. We have a new wing for the middle schoolers. We just welcome anybody to come up to Loyola and experience the campus. I know my youngest student went to a different school until he was in 3rd grade. When I went up to Loyola, all I can explain is when you open those doors, people are very, very welcoming. And it feels like a community, like a little family up there. And so I was a solo mom at the time, and everyone just made me feel so welcome. I felt like my kids were safe, getting a great education. They made great friends. It's just a special place.
It really is. And we are a Loyola family. We have, she'll be a kindergartner at Loyola in the fall. She just finished full-time pre-K, which we toured, I guess it would have been right in the middle of the pandemic when it looked like things were starting to potentially go back to normal. And we really wanted that full-time preschool experience because she had been out of daycare since the pandemic started. And like you, we toured the school and instantly fell in love and didn't really expect to stay for school beyond pre-K, but we just had such a wonderful experience with pre-K and the teachers and the activities, and everything was included. Everyone, even the preschool students and the pre-K families were included in all of the activities and the homecoming. And it just felt really, like you said, like a family, like a community. So now we are starting kindergarten in the fall. I can't believe it. It's so fun. And like you said, enrollment is up at Loyola. So the experience is just, what do you think are some of the things like it feeling like a community that sets Loyola apart?
Well, it's really, as I mentioned to you, when you go to Loyola, you're welcomed at the front door. Everyone is nice and friendly. It feels like such a safe environment. Like I said, my kids can, run around and all the kids can just experience everything that there is. I don't feel like I have to worry with them there. The teachers, the people that work there are so dedicated and passionate about Loyola that I think they also bring that special extra something to the school. They take time to just spend with each student, and with the smaller class sizes, that's easier to do for them.
Yeah. And I've noticed some cool relationships between the older kids and the younger kids with some reading programs and mentorships. And we're not involved in those yet because our daughter is younger, but I've seen just in the newsletter and things. And I think that those are really cool relationships when you're all in a small school, all in the same building, to develop some of those mentorships and bonds between the younger ones and the older ones is pretty special.
Yeah, it's really fun to watch being in the school. Kids will be walking down the hallway and the seniors will be high-fiving the kindergartners. And as you know, we have some special traditions. At homecoming, the kindergartners and the seniors sing the national anthem. We also have a math day where the seniors walk hand in hand and walk the younger kids, kindergartners, walk the seniors down the aisle after mass is over. And it's so
cool.
Fun to see them.
You have a lot of events, and like you said, that's kind of your baby at Loyola, and there are some exciting things coming up this summer and then into the fall. But let's talk about the big one coming up this month with Rockin' on the Hill.
Yes. Rockin' on the Hill is July 16th up on the hill at Good Counsel. This event is in its 6th year. We took a year off because of COVID. And little fun fact, I actually started Rockin' on the Hill.
Oh, no way.
Back when I was a volunteer. Didn't have any other association with Loyola, but we were doing Max Night, if you remember that event.
Vaguely.
So that was a fun event that we had. Well, we felt like it had run its course. We were going to take a little break. And so another parent and I and a group of people came up with, well, let's do a music festival outside. So we came up with Rockin' on the Hill.
That's super cool. And obviously at the time, like you said, you weren't working at Loyola. So now for it to come full circle and it's your job. To plan Rockin' on the Hill.
Right.
Well, that's so cool. So you guys have a great lineup coming up this summer. It's all out on the football field and family-friendly music throughout the afternoon and some other exciting things too.
Yes. So our lineup, I'm very excited to have them come. Tyler Herwig is going to be opening for us again from 5 to 6. Local musician, does a great job. And then we have a band called Mason-Dixon Line. And I've heard some people say they're familiar with them.
They're very good.
Yeah.
I've seen them before. They're very good.
They're a country rock band. I actually did go Steele County Fair. I went to preview them and meet them there. So that was really fun. And then the other one is Mallrats, which has kind of a unique name. But they are a 90s tribute band. And so they sing all cover music from one end of the spectrum to the other. So I think people are going to, just have a really good time. There's dancing. They're super high energy. So they'll have like light shows, and they, they dress like the 90s kind of grunge or, different look. But they, they're super fun. I actually saw them at Moondance Jam.
Okay.
Last summer, which is where I decided, wow, this is a really cool band. I think we need something like this at Loyola for Rockin' on the Hill. So I reached out and contacted them. And ironically, the guy that was the manager for that band also is in Mason-Dixon line. Oh, so it was
what
really
are the
cool
odds?
how I came up with them. So Mason-Dixon line is also going to be at Twin Cities Summer Jam, they announced.
Awesome.
So I found that out after we had brought them on board. But it's really cool because if you're going to Twin Cities Summer Jam, come to Rockin' on the Hill first. Mm-hmm. You get to experience the bands and then go up to the cities and hear them again.
Oh, how awesome. So Mallrats is a 90s tribute band, and everything 90s is hot right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, go to the mall and like look at the clothes. And I'm like, I wore all of this
right
back in the day. So that is going to be huge. I cannot wait. And give people some details on what they can expect, what else is going to be happening with vendors, parking, kind of some of those details, Carrie.
Yep. So you park up on the hill. We've got plenty of parking for everyone. And then we've got, tickets are only $10 and $20 in advance, or $10 advance, $20 at the door. We've got some really great food vendors lined up. One is the Pelican. Absolutely love Jenny and the Pelican. So we're really excited to have her up on the hill. Then I have two new ones that I don't know if people are as familiar with. One is Bummy's Barbecue. So they're out of Keister, Minnesota. They do a lot of stuff, down in that area, but my significant other, Nate, has actually tried them. So he kind of did that taste testing sample for us, and he said they're really, really good.
Awesome.
Great barbecue. And then the other one is Blake's Better Spread. So they're a restaurant, the Willows Restaurant in New Richland, and then they started up a food truck. And so they're going to have stuff like flatbread pizza, buffalo wings, other kind of sandwiches.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And then, of course, you have beverages available. Is there other vendors this year?
Henna Tattoo is coming back again this year. We'll have a booth set up with some things for Loyola as well. And I'm in communication with a couple of others right now trying to get them up there. So we'll have a nice variety.
Awesome. And folks can get a ticket online, and they need to bring a chair. Bring
your blanket.
Bring a sun hat.
Casual evening of just, food, friends, and fun and live music.
Oh, great. And proceeds obviously will benefit Loyola. And it is just a really fun atmosphere. It's super chill and great music.
Yeah, it's a great community event.
It is. And if businesses are interested in getting involved, there are some sponsorship opportunities too.
Yep. They can reach out to me at Loyola. My email address is ckijenski@loyolacatholicSchool.com.
And we'll leave that in the show notes too to make it a little bit easier to get a hold of you.
Great.
And not to rush through the summer and get us back to school, but another favorite Loyola event is Wired to the Heart, which will be coming up in November.
Yes. So this is our big gala of the year that we have, and we typically had it at MSU in the past. Last year, we brought it down to the Event Center in Mankato. We had after party at Pub 500. And, this is 400 plus people that come for a night of, fine dining and socializing. We have a silent auction. We also have a live auction. And then it's just such a different event compared to some of the other ones that we do. Women can get all dressed up and, have some fun that way. And it will be at the Event Center again this year. We're looking at hosting a VIP party beforehand and looking for a business to hold the VIP after party, or I should just say the after party as well.
Awesome. So if any downtown businesses are listening and would like to have a whole bunch of families, parents, I guess I should say,
yes.
this is an adult event.
This is an adult.
at your location following Wired to the Heart. You can let Carrie know. And there are sponsorships and tables, of course. Are those available yet, or is that something that's coming up a little bit later?
That will be coming up soon, but we're already starting to work on it.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited. The other thing, too, I wanted to mention, some of the things that we have there was the treasure chest. That's a really fun event. We have exclusively diamonds, and Williams Diamond Center donate some jewelry pieces. And so women have a chance to win one of those valued about $2,500. Wow. We've got some other raffles that we do as well.
Oh, how would that be to head home with a new piece of bling? I love it. And also, because this is all kind of in your wheelhouse at Loyola, let's talk a little bit about the activity sponsorships that are available. Sure.
Well, we have athletic and activity sponsor every year that we do for the coming year for our sports and other activities. We've got sponsorships available. So it starts at $500 for a business card size ad in our program. And then we have other levels, that go up from there. One of our sponsorship levels is actually you can have your name on the back of the warm-up jerseys for basketball or volleyball. We had chair covers made this year with the business's logo on it. So it's a great way to give back and get your name out there at all the activities and sporting events.
And I think it's worth mentioning, we talked about this at the beginning of the episode, but Loyola does such a great job of involving all of the families in the activities. And so we attended a football game last year, and there was little bitty kids and big kids, and the stands were jam-packed full of families. And then there was, we went to a basketball game because the preschoolers sang the national anthem at one of the basketball games. And oh my gosh, I've never seen anything cuter. And I'm not just saying that because my daughter was singing. They were all adorable. But it's just, you guys really do a great job of involving the entire Loyola community in the activities. So I think that is worth mentioning when you're talking about getting involved on the sponsorship level, that they're well-attended events. They're fun. It's that small school feeling, in our larger community, which is really cool.
Yep.
And of course, school is out for a couple more months. We're not going to rush it. We're not going to rush summer, although some parents might be listening to bored kids,
right?
Wanting to get along. But what's happening up on campus this summer?
So campus is still not very quiet. We've got all the clubhouse kids up there, and so oh my gosh, they're just so cute. Seeing all the little kids up to the older, fifth graders, fourth graders. So there's lots of activity, lots of things going around. Our clubhouse is full. It filled up really, really fast. But again, as you walk the halls, the kids are around and they say some of the cutest things. And then, outside of that, I'm in the office all summer working on the events that we have, fundraising sponsorships. And then the advancement department is there as well. So we have someone that works with our alumni. We have, even still our advancement team is working very hard to do tours and, let parents come in and ask questions and just, we're already ramping up for next year. So summer does not stop.
And we mentioned the enrollment is up at Loyola. So if people are interested in finding out more or experiencing what the campus is like with a tour, there are some grades that are full and wait lists are starting. So the time would be now, I would say, to give you guys a call. And what's the best way to go about doing that?
So you can call the main line, and then Kirsten Caffarelli is the person that handles all the tours and questions and getting people enrolled into school. So I strongly suggest, if you're even just looking at it, come up and have a tour and see what Loyola is all about.
Yeah, preschool, pre-K, all the way through 12th grade. So something for just about all the youth in our community.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to add, Carrie?
I'm just looking forward to a great summer, working on all the events, Rockin' on the Hill. Make sure you check that out. One thing we forgot to mention was we were having the Mankato Brewery do the lemonade rhubarb beer again.
Oh.
And so the school sisters actually grow the rhubarb that we use.
No way.
Yeah. And so it's going to be a special year, having them, provide that, bringing that up. We're not sure if this will be the last year or what we're going to do moving forward. So that'll be really special for us as well.
That's super cool. They did that beer last year too, right? I remember people raving about it.
And it goes fast.
Yeah. So get your tickets to Rockin' on the Hill. Hit us with the date and details for that event one more time.
Yep, July 16th, up on the campus of Good Counsel Hill. Doors open at 4:30. The event is from 5 to 11. Bring your lawn chairs, grab your blankets, and just come up for a really good time.
And we'll put a link to tickets in the show notes down below. And we want to say thank you to Carrie for coming in and filling us in on what's happening up at Loyola Catholic Schools. And we'll be back next week with another episode of the Build Blue podcast.